So we got a Mini Coupe and it's a little torn apart right now because the tranny's about to go down because it's a 6-speed and it needs a clutch. I did forget to record all of the before of this, but you guys don't even want to see that anyway. It'd be boring. So we took all the stuff off. We're detaching the tranny from the motor and then we're gonna lower it down and then we'll toss the clutch in it, and I'll get back to you once we do that. So we got all the bolts off. Some of them were a pain in the butt. There was one right there, and we had to get a bunch of stuff, and we had the big old breaker bar right there, and we had a bunch of swivels and extensions, but we got it off. Tranny is now disconnected. You can kind of see that little gap when we, yeah, you can see that little gap right there. That's really good. Means the tranny is now disconnected from the motor, and we're going to get an extra hand and we're going to shake that off, and then somebody's got to hold the motor, and then we got to get it down, and it's probably going to leak oil everywhere and it's going to be a pain in the butt. So alright, so we got everything back together, got the new rack and pinion, everything's back together, but the clutch isn't fully disengaging, so you have to like triple pump the clutch to shift into any gear because it's not fully disengaging. So we're trying to bleed, well, we bled the slave cylinder right here, and now we are working on bleeding the master cylinder, which is up in here. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but that basically, it goes, takes oil from there, goes there, pushes that, and it's not disengaging the clutch fully. So we got to get that done, and then I'll show you it ripping. Good news, we got the tranny out, not in here anymore. Got the new clutch on, and I don't think it's centered perfectly, so I think we're gonna loosen it back up and redo it because it doesn't look perfectly centered. If you guys, this side is like, it's kind of up that way too much. And here's the tranny. But the very, very, very bad news is, if we rotate the tranny here, we broke it. Because when we're taking this off, when we tried to unscrew that bolt there, it broke. And when we tried to get it out with the bolt extractor, yeah, here's a screw. We had this in here. We had the bolt extractor in there, and we were cranking on it with the crescent wrench, and I was holding this, and it snapped that entire piece off right there. I don't even know where that piece went on it, but that's the bad news. But we're gonna get it fixed. We're getting a for a welder, we have a MIG welder, so we're just gonna get like a spool runner so we can weld aluminum with it, and we're gonna weld this piece back on here, and then it should be good to go because the clutch, it's not putting that much weight on it, so it should be able to hold it. And then we'll just tap out a new, make new threads there, because I'm not sure how we're gonna weld it, but we're getting it figured out. It'll get back together, and our goal for today is to try and get the tranny all back in here, and everything above it back in, everything but the subframe and the rack and pinion. We got everything back together, got the new rack and pinion, everything's back together, but the clutch isn't fully disengaging. So you have to like triple pump the clutch to shift into any gear because it's not fully disengaging. So we're trying to bleed, well, we bled the slave cylinder right here, and now we are working on bleeding the master cylinder, which is up in here. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but that basically, it goes, takes oil from there, goes there, pushes that, and it's not disengaging the clutch fully. So we got to get that done, and then I'll show you it ripping. Even more bad news, we took this thing out for a test spin, and it's got a terrible misfire, so, but it didn't overheat, so that means that thing's kind of working up there. But it barely goes now. It's got a very bad misfire, so we're probably going to hook the scanner up to it, see, but it probably just needs spark plugs or something, because this thing's been beat on, and it's by the previous owner, I guarantee it. But yeah, so that'll probably be it for this video. If you want to see part 2 of this thing ripping, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.